The American Society of Magical Negroes is the David Allen Grier mega blockbuster comedy that will show the moviegoers that this movie is not three things. It is not a racist movie, it is not a horror movie, and definitely not a garbage movie. It goes down the toilet within the first 10 minutes of this movie. We are about to dive in the massacre review of the American Society of Magical Negroes, and this movie is not one of those movies people are not going to watch, but it has a strong message in this movie. The movie is based on a young man getting recruited by a secret society of magical black people, and their goal is literally making white people's lives easier. I'm not making this up. It starts off as Aren, who is played by Justice Smith, as a weird guy in an art gallery as one of the only black men in the building trying to sell his art. His art is basically hanging in a bunch of yarn like he's hanging clothes outside the dryer from the sun. This is the same guy who's played a wizard from Dungeons and Dragons and played in Jurassic Park franchise. He's been kicked out the art gallery and going to the ATM machine where this drunk girl shows up and asks him to help him get some money from her debit card. She claims she lost her debit card when she literally put the card in the machine herself. Two guys just randomly walked up assuming he took her card, and before he was about to get jumped, Roger, who is played by David Allen Grier, jumped in and saved him from getting beaten to a pulp. So Roger asks him to join the Magical Society Club, but Harry hesitates to join because he's not comfortable. So he went to the intro class, and basically the society is about making white people happy.
Sure. White people.
The rules is making your clients first, always, and try to solve their problems. For example, there is a device called a tier meter, which indicates the morale. If it goes down, you have to bring the morale up by encouraging to do things that make them feel better. You know, like a motivational speaker or coach. He goes with Roger to a local party with a policeman, which earlier they promised to take him to the party. Keeping his morale up, Aren has a personal issue he's fighting inside that is discomfort towards people. She is shy and scared to do simple tasks, which proves later on when he bumped into Lizzie at the coffee shop. Lizzie, who is played by Bogan. You can tell he likes her by saying some weird stuff and confusing her. He was supposed to buy her a coffee which she spilled but never did and just had to go. Speaking of beer, in his spare time he likes to make a sweater out of a yarn. Next scene later, he decides to join the Magical Society and was given the job the next day. His job was to boast Jason, who was played by Tarver, boast his morale because his morale is way too low to the point that they need somebody young to deal with him. They try to send older folks to him and it never worked. And I can see why. Jason is a narcissist that wants to be the head boss but doesn't want to do any of the work. First, Jason wants to be the head boss because he believes he's the best qualified for the job. However, Lizzie, who's Aren met in the coffee shop earlier, works in the same area. In reality, Lizzie is the one who is doing all the projects while Jason is being lazy and doing nothing. Also, Jason wants to go out on a date with Lizzie, which makes Aren mad because he likes her too. Aren runs back to Roger, trying to get advice to tell him about the Jason guy, which is a tough guy to crack. Roger warned him that working in a magical society, there are two things that you cannot do: fall in love with someone and put yourself first. If either or both rules is violated, he will be banned from the society and placed back on the streets with other normal people, and they will wipe his memory. They will lose their ability to use magic to boost their morale and travel to one place to another, and actually to society. One recruiter was kicked out because she violated one of the rules and expressed that everything was his client's fault. I don't blame her, I would quit too, or rather get kicked out on purpose. Now that Aren realized that he's heartbroken about it and wants to tell how he really feels about her, Lizzie was upset because Jason was voted for by the boss to be the promotion of the job he was looking for and the new face of the representation. Lizzie and Aren have a stroll in the park, having a friendly conversation, even having a small moment that was interrupted by Jason wanting Aren to be with him for the presentation, which is the next day. This angered Aren so much that he was discussing details of having Lizzie as his partner because she was the one that really did the work while he didn't do anything. However, Jason felt like she didn't earn the position and he did not really care as long as he got the position while they're playing some VR game in the office. So, the next day, Aren gets multiple calls from Jason about being at the meeting, but blows him off multiple calls multiple times because he really wants to express his feeling how he feel about Lizzie. Which result is snapping at Jason, so in front of the world, in front of different countries and different states, hearing those who argue about racial discrimination and ability to stay alive via satellite. He literally expressed how he really feels about everything, embarrassing himself in front of the world and the magical society. He takes Lizzie and uses his magical powers and end up on the Empire State Building. Just before he about to make his moves on Lizzie, he was taken back to the magical society and left her on the building alone. When you leave a woman at the top of the Empire State Building, expect her to be mad. Aren was kicked out of the society, which what he really wanted, and running like a lunatic to get to Lizzie as the kiss in the movie ended. Right? Wrong. Because Lizzie is in her own magical society for housewives or single ladies just for women. I can see the message where the secret society job is to help people and there's a message that will help if you don't help them. I can also see the message where it may have to go through things that are personal and dear to you. However, it does not change the fact that I did not like this movie. Firstly, I did not like the idea of an organization was created to satisfy one race. If you're going to satisfy them, why not expand it to satisfy blacks, Asians, Latinos, Mexicans, Indians, and other races including aliens from outer space. Secondly, the main character Aren was freaking weird during the whole movie. He gave this weird vibe that something was completely off with him, and when he let out his frustration, almost towards the end of the movie in front of the whole world, he weirdly just disappeared out of the embarrassing situation. I understand Roger wanted to help him, but he was definitely the wrong recruit. He had his own issues and care for himself since Lizzie pops into his life. Thirdly, it pains me to say this, but I like David Allen Grier's character as a respectable actor in comedy, but to see him in this movie was painful, and I'm going to skip past it. Fourth, you had a floating lady played by Nicole Byer because she had magical powers. If she don't have any powers, she basically sits on a ladder the whole time. There are many things wrong with this movie, but I'm not going to detail and waste my time naming them. This movie is an hour and 45 minutes. IDMB gave this a 4.3 rating. I am going to give this 5 stars at best. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to see this movie. If not, I do not blame you one bit. If you want to see more upcoming movies on the channel, press the like and subscribe button. I will see you in the next review.
I'm curious to see how you're gonna make it out of all this.